Chairman, Dr. Fauci, when is the time? When is the time? Well, in your written statement, you say, now is not the time to pull back on masking, physical distancing, and avoiding congregate settings.
Not the time to pull back on laws against drunk driving, speeding through residential neighborhoods, running red lights, running stop signs, and texting while driving.
When is the time? When do Americans get their freedom back? Can you put your microphone on, please?
Sorry. When we get the level of infection in this country low enough that it is not a really high threat.
What is low enough? Give me a number. What I mean, we had 15 days to slow the spread, turned into 1 year of lost liberty. What metrics, what measures, what has to happen before Americans get their freedoms back?
What is low enough, either in terms of number of accidents, injuries, fatalities, speed? How long do we need to wait at a yield sign?
Congressman Jordan, is to get as many people vaccinated as quickly as we possibly can to get the level of infection in this country low that it is no longer a threat. That is when. And I believe when that happens, you will see.
What determines when?
I'm sorry.
What? What measure? I mean, are we just going to continue this forever, or when do we get to the point? What measure? What standard? What objective outcome do we have to reach before Americans get their liberty and freedoms back?
What determines when? What measure? Are we going to just continue to wait? When can we speed to church, drive to church while texting, or drunk? How long are our 21st Amendment rights to use alcohol going to be stopped?
You know, you're indicating liberty and freedom. I look at it as a public health measure to prevent people from dying and going to the hospital.
You don't think Americans' liberties have been threatened the last year, Dr. Fauci? They've been assaulted. Their liberties have.
I don't look at this as a liberty thing, Congressman Jordan.
Well, that's
I look
obvious.
At this as a public health thing.
Like it says in the preamble to the Constitution, which states the purpose of the Constitution: providing for the common defense, promoting the general welfare, and securing the blessings of liberty, not just liberty, but the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. The Constitution is more than just about freedoms.
I disagree with you on that.
You think the Constitution is suspended during a virus, during a pandemic? It's certainly not.
This will end for sure when we get the level of infection very low. It is now at such a high level, there's a threat again of major surges.
Dr. Fauci, over the last year, Americans' First Amendment rights have been completely attacked. Your right to go to church, your right to assemble, your right to petition your government, freedom of the press, freedom of speech have all been assaulted. I mean, for a year now, Americans haven't been able to go to church. Even today, when they go to church, they're limited in the size of worshipers who can meet. Your right to assemble? Oh, my goodness. We had a curfew last fall in Ohio. You had to be in your home at 10. In Pennsylvania, you had to be in your home. When you're in your home, you had to wear a mask. In Vermont, when you're in your home, you didn't have to wear a mask, Dr. Fauci, because you weren't allowed to have people over to your house.
Yeah, Congressman Jordan.
Your ability to petition your government for a year, American citizens haven't been able to come to their capital to petition their government, to talk to their representatives. And
when can we speed, run red lights, stop signs? How fast can we go? What level of fatal accidents is low enough to allow us to drive fast, drunk, and or texting? When can we go out past the curfew times our parents have set? When can we see our friends our parents forbid or don't want? When can we marry people our parents think are bad for us and don't like? When? When? Give me a date. Next week? Next year? Ever? What objective measures should we look for to count for when we can stay out late, see our friends, date the Ted Bundys of the world, marry people with STDs? What are we looking for?
So I just want to know, when do Americans get their First Amendment liberties back? Chairman, Dr. Fauci, when is the time?